Good afternoon, everyone. At this time, I would like to call to order today's meeting of the Greater Dayton RTA Board of Trustees. All of those who are, microphone loud now, all of those who are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Stanforth, could we have the roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lumpkin?
Here.
Mr. Collenkamp?
Here.
Ms. Hairston? Present. Ms. Matthew Stinson?
Present.
Ms. Miller?
Present.
Mr. Mullins?
Here.
Mr. Weckesser?
Here.
Ms. White? Mr. Williamson?
Here.
We have 8 of 9 present.
Thank you. We can declare a quorum so we can conduct regular business for today. Next, we'll move on to the approval of the consent agenda. Greater Dayton RTA laws require that the Board of Trustees approval of today's board meeting. The agenda was mailed in advance of today's meeting. Are there any changes or amendments to the agenda? No changes. We will declare the meeting minutes approved as, the agenda approved as presented. We now move on to the approval of the August 6, 2024 board meeting minutes. The minutes were also mailed out to everyone. Were there any corrections or any changes to the meeting minutes from the August 6, 2024 board meeting minutes? Hearing none, I will declare the meeting minutes approved as presented. We will now move on to our committee reports. Finance and Personnel Committee, Ms. Matthew Stinson.
Thank you very much. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees held a meeting on August 20th, and as a result, the Finance, Personnel Committee is recommending 2 action items for the board's consideration. Action item number 2, landscaping and grounds maintenance. The purpose of this procurement is to select a firm to partner with Greater Dayton RTA in a 5-year contract for landscaping and grounds maintenance services at all RTA properties, including the Longworth campus, transit centers, substations, and turnaround and turnbacks. This project involves weekly landscaping services, bi-weekly reports on the condition of the properties, and a summary of the completed work. The contract also includes the application of insect spray 5 times per year, seeding, and other landscaping and ground maintenance work as needed. Mr. Brown presented this action item at our meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package. Staff is available to answer any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the Finance Personnel Committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve a 5-year contract award to Grounds Pro in the amount of $605,245 plus a 20% contingency of $121,049 for any unknown and additional cost, for a grand total of $726,294.
Second. It's been properly moved and second that action item number 2, landscaping and grounds maintenance, be approved. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Action item number 2 is approved.
Thank you. Action item number 3, portable vehicle hoist. The Greater Dayton RTA requires 5 sets of wireless portable vehicle hoists to replace some of the older hardwired units. The new wireless portable vehicle hoist will be used throughout the maintenance department for vehicle maintenance repairs. Mr. Brown presented this action item at our meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package. Staff is available to answer any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the Finance Personnel Committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve a contract award to Sturtle Connie for 5 sets of wireless portable vehicle hoist at $57,000 each for a total of $285,000.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that action item number 3, portable vehicle hoist, be approved. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Action item number 3 is approved.
Thank you very much. One final item to mention, the June 2024 financial report, as well as small purchases information, was presented at our meeting and has been included in today's board package. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews Stinson. We'll move on to Planning Committee. Mr. Wexler.
Thank you. The Finance Personnel and Planning Committees met for a jointly held meeting on August 20th, 2024, and the Planning Committee is recommending one action item for the board's consideration. Action item number 4, medical and prescription, dental, and voluntary vision insurance. Mr. Palachicchio explained the purpose of this action item is to purchase group medical and prescription drug and vision coverage for administrative and AFSCME employees, along with dental coverage for all RTA employees. After reviewing all options, the RTA is recommending being self-insured with the Health Transit Pool of Ohio for medical and prescription drug coverage, which is projected to meet its budgetary goals in 2025. In addition, the RTA is recommending a 2-year agreement with Superior Dental Care and a 4-year agreement with IMED. Medical, prescription, and voluntary vision coverage will be made available to administrative and AFSCME represented employees. Dental insurance coverage will be made available to all RTA employees. Additional information is included in today's board packet. Staff is available for any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, and based upon the recommendation of the Planning Committee, I move to approve and award self-insured medical and prescription coverage through the Health Transit Pool of Ohio in the total estimated amount of $2,091,916, plus a contingency allowance of $200,000 for 1 year. An agreement with Superior Dental Care for a total 2-year estimated cost of $445,346.40, and an agreement with IMED for a total 4-year estimated cost of $59,470,000.56. Based on the current census, in addition, that the CEO be authorized to pre-fund RTA's account with the health pool in CY calendar year 2024 with $392,628.55. This represents funds that RTA is currently holding from the last time RTA was self-insured and can be used to offset potential future catastrophic claims.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that action item number 4, medical, prescription, dental, and vision insurance be approved. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Action item number 4 is approved.
Thank you. At the meeting, Mr. Palachicchio also provided a summary document of recent activities going on in the Customer and Business Development Department. That concludes my update, and I'm available if there are any additional questions.
Thank you, Mr. Wexler. Moving right along, we will go on to our Chief Executive Officer's report. Mr. Rosinski.
Yep, just a few things. I wanted to congratulate a recent promotion and a recent hire into the RTA management team. Mr. Joe Johnson, who has been working with RTA for a number of years in our inventory group, was recently promoted to the manager of that section, effective, Darren, next month, September 1st, okay. And then Chanel Kilgore, who's in the audience, you can wave. She's a little shy sometimes, is our new accounting manager. So she just started a couple weeks ago, and she's learning the job from the bottom up. So I also wanted to thank everybody involved with the retirement event, which I thought was very well attended, and the guests really enjoyed it, as well as the bus rodeo family fun day, especially our judges, Dave and Sharon, who endured the heat and the sun. Yeah, the Sharon who came. Sharon Harris done. I think a good time was had by all, and it was a really nice day. That's all I have.
Thank you. Ms. Rosinski, we'll now move on. Is there any old business?
Yep, I need to address the public comments from the last meeting. So Mrs. Asadula, she asked about incidents concerning passengers who were seeking medical attention while on our bus and then perhaps refusing to go after requesting said assistance. A question of responsibility was asked. RTA handles those on a case-by-case basis, as the severity of any injury would dictate different approaches on how to handle each unique situation. So there is no one-size-fits-all for that. She had a concern about PAs, which are personal assistants, and those are required for customers who need them. RTA does not publicly disclose that information to others. If a customer requires a personal care assistance and does not have one, we can deny the trip. PAs, though, are not always required, as our drivers are trained to provide assistance on and off the vehicle. Ms. Adula did file a complaint on July 25th, and RTA responded to that complaint on August 1st. She also expressed concern of us having our drivers use her name while riding our bus, and she complained about a driver knocking on her door. She asked that we refer to her by a number. RTA will generally continue to use customer names. We did add a note to her record on her request, but cannot guarantee drivers will use a number instead of her legal name. Perhaps Mrs. Adula might find using a private transit provider would provide her with more privacy versus the RTA shared public services. Ms. Adula questioned if dispatchers were all following the same book. All dispatchers do in fact receive consistent training, but individual situations require individual responses, which to some may look like inconsistencies. Finally, Ms. Adula questioned riders' behavior in the use of phones and being loud. If our drivers feel a behavior is disruptive to others, they can take steps to mitigate the behavior or have a supervisor assist if needed. Next, Mr. Bishop Cobia commented on the buses not running and that he had to visit homes to collect their offerings. He also commented that I was not friendly, questioned why for 3 years we've been giving free rides, but not for seniors. While RTA does have many extra drivers on hand each day to cover absences, on days with excessive call-offs, some trips may not run until we can get a driver to come in. This does not happen very often, but it does happen. My staff will tell you that I am indeed a friendly person. And on free rides, when RTA offers free rides, we offer them to everybody, including seniors. Mr. Hicks came and discussed an alleged incident from 3+ years ago and a lack of video support. He also stated that his lawyers want to hear from us. In March of 2021, Mr. Hicks alleged an incident took place on an RTA bus. In April of 2021, RTA received a legal inquiry. In September of 2021, a denial was issued by our insurance company due to lack of evidence. In March of 2023, the statute of limitations passed and the file has been closed. And finally, Mrs. Smothers discussed the former senior Easy Ride route and indicated that she would be taking matters a little higher. She also discussed the retired Route 24. Mrs. Smothers previously has taken her concerns about the former senior Easy Ride to local, state, and national levels, including the White House, for which now I have contacts at the White House. RTA has responded to all and addressed any concerns anyone expressed. Mrs. Smothers has also taken her concerns to the media, and RTA has addressed them. RTA continues to provide trips to seniors who may not qualify for paratransit services through the 5310 program, and in fact, for the second year now, we are allowing riders to take a friend at no charge. As for the retired Route 24, RTA is starting the new West Connector route, which may look a bit like the former 24. This route will run from the Northwest Hub to the West Hub and then to the South Hub, providing connections to various RTA routes This is the third in a series of planned routes that will provide services that connect to other RTA routes without doing so downtown. And that is all I have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rosinski. And we'll move on. Is there any new business that we need to take up?
I have none.
All right, so now we'll move on to public comment. So anyone wishing to address the board may speak on their own behalf. After you're recognized to speak, please come to the lectern if you're able. If not, we'll bring a microphone to you. You must state your name and address, and after doing so, you'll have 3 minutes to make your comments. A yellow light will come on when you have 30 seconds remaining, and Ms. Gardner will say 30 seconds. When your 3 minutes are up, the red light will come on, and Ms. Gardner will say stop. And at that time, you must stop talking and leave the lectern or surrender the microphone. So with that being said, first, we have 2 requests for public comments. First up, Mr. Kevin Frazier.
Good afternoon, board.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Kevin Frazier, as if you don't know by now. I reside at 555 Recess Drive, Dayton, Ohio. I'm here to speak to you about a couple of issues. My last meeting, attendance here at this board, I was suggested to do a couple things. Well, one of them I did take up, and that was having a union management committee with the company to try to discuss our differences, which we had. And I'll be honest with you, I left that meeting really feeling positive. I was asked to submit some MOUs, which you should have in front of you right now, which I did. And after the responses to the MOUs, I'm telling you, I'm back down in the basement. As you can see before you, there's 2 MOUs. One addresses bus barriers and enclosures, which deals with one of RTA's #1 issues, which is safety. They preach it all the time. And believe it or not, they do adhere to it a lot. But during that board meeting, we were told that there's not a problem with the bus enclosures being installed. You have the funding, and they believe that it was a safe thing to do. Okay? Well, if you look at the, I think I did put the answers to the bus enclosures. I was told to discuss this maybe during contract negotiations. Whenever we meet with Union Management Committee, first thing we all should understand is we do not discuss anything pertaining to a contract. It's not supposed to happen, and we didn't. Bus enclosures are not pertaining to the contract, but that's the response that I got back. Second issue that you should have in front of you is called accident review boards, which you should all have a copy of. During that accident review board, the Union Management Committee meeting, everybody seemed to be agreeable with the accident review board. Why? Why am I here even talking about an accident review board? Make this make sense to me. You're training me to do a job. I make a mistake while I'm doing that job. Do you penalize me for doing that? Because I have operators that's being charged with accident points when they're in training. Please, make that make sense. Where in this country does that happen? An accident review board is something that was in place in this company years ago. It was withdrawn by our president by the name of Glenn Sire because he felt as though the company was was paying the neutral individual themselves instead of what we proposed that we split the cost, which we are willing to do. I brought that to the board. They were elated about it. Once again, what happens? It's responded to like it doesn't mean anything, but this is another issue that I cannot wrap myself around. We are constantly trying to improve relationships with this company. And I go to these meetings, I walk out feeling positive, but then all of a sudden I get this response that makes me feel like, why were we even sitting here? So I ask for your attention to those issues, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier.
You're welcome.
Next we have Althea Asadula.
Thank you for saying my name correctly.
I'm glad that I got it right.
Althea Absolute, 6006 General Report, Supervisor, Ohio, 45424. First of all, I asked about a PA riding with an individual that has a handicap that cannot automatically move his wheelchair, since I was on that bus 45 minutes with him, and the emergency people had to keep on. That's why I asked about a PA once he gets to another destination, because somebody designated as his PA to get up there to get him off the bus. That's what I mean by that. My name, yes, public transportation. Guess what? Big bus is public transportation too, but I don't see where everybody gets off off. They say, Sierra got off the bus. They don't say they're on the big bus, so if the big bus is supposed to be the same as the little bus, why are you announcing my name loud enough for customers to hear? Then you got all this extra stuff on my tag, King. It's supposed to say red tip King. They don't even push the screen. They lock on my door and leave and go on back to the bus. So I have to just stand there and look real special. Yeah, come back and get me because I can't see it. Because it says Kane when you pick me up instead of red tip Kane. No matter what they tell me, I've been on that bus and heard it say Kane, go knock on the door. That's your policy, door-to-door service. So therefore, why you got that on there taking up room for them to see that I cannot see? Because that's what's important to me. Put blind, but you won't put that on there because of HIPAA. Because I have my own rights, but that's okay. Then we're talking about your GPS system. Let's go with that. Every time you have an update, it breaks down. Every time you have a service call, it breaks down. Then you put out a paper round. When you put out a paper, you need an if-then situation. When the computer says, hey, Sam called in, put a star by his name, because Sam ain't going today. That computer program has been going on for years. So I took computers in when I was in high school. That was what, 4 years? Come on now, fix the problem. You're not fixing the problem with cancellations when the computer goes down, because you don't have nobody to take that spot. How much are they getting again? Because the last time I heard it was 1.2 million to do technical support. That was before COVID. Please tell me you're not paying these people that much money to fix the GPA system that does not work. How about it tells the person that turned down Chambersburg? Luckily, there was an individual on the bus that knew where I lived at. It was going the wrong way, and he didn't believe her. But he turned around and went down 10 way correct. I felt so special, because guess what? I can't see.
30
I was
seconds.
in the wrong place again because of my visual disability. But that's all right. The next thing I was asking, anytime blood patches is on the bus, you're supposed to seal it down, seal it, and leave the bus there. Not take the bus, put the passenger back on the bus after he received medical care from an ambulance and refused to go on the ambulance. That's between him and the ambulance, not RTA.
Thank you, ma'am. On those public comments, we will take those into account, and we will address them in next board meeting. Next, we'll have board member comments. We will start down with Ms. Miller.
I have none.
I want to give a big shout out to everybody involved with the rodeo. It was a great day, and fine time was had by all. And I'm glad, as someone who was around when it used to happen back in the 90s, I'm glad to see it resurrected, and I hope it's a big success. So especially a big tip of the hat to Jessica Olson for all the hard work she did and her team. So congrats.
I'll say congratulations also. I wasn't able to make it. I had my other job to do that day, but
Rodeo was on a Saturday, Tom, but that's
well,
okay.
and I did. Unfortunately, I had the event that day. So, but it all. I've heard great things, and it looked great looking at the pamphlets and stuff.
No comments.
No comments.
Just very quickly, sometimes organizations need to hire from the outside, that's necessity, but there's definitely always something special about when those from within get promoted, so congratulations to all.
Only thing I'd like to say is that this is the Sharon that participated in the
That's
rodeo.
right. I did not.
And I did have a good time. I did have fun. I only had to blow the horn to get them started. So it was good. I didn't have to take off points or anything. But I did enjoy it, and that will probably be my last time participating in it.
No comments. I will say, my aunt, who is the mayor of Trotwood, said she had a good time at the rodeo. Congratulations to the two employees that have received promotions. Congratulations to you both. It is great when you can promote people from within. And then just a personal thing for me, it's a tough day for me. 19 years ago, my father passed away. I want to give a shout out to John Lumpkin Sr. because 19 days after his passing, he was recognized in the Dayton Daily News today as one of the greatest football players to have played at Roth. He was a proud Roth Falcon, 1967 graduate, and had DPS not closed it, I would have been a Falcon too, but because of that Ram Nation. But shout out to my dad. Love him to death. I owe everything that I am to him, and I appreciate that. So with that being said, is there any request for executive session?
We do have a request for a brief session on a potential litigation matter.
Okay, that being said, we will need a motion and a second to convene into executive session.
I move we convene into executive session for the purpose of discussing a potential litigation matter.
Second?
It's been properly moved and second that we go into executive session for a potential legal matter. Could we have a roll call vote to recess, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lumpkin,
Yes.
Mr. Fulenkamp,
Yes.
Ms. Hairston,
Yes.
Ms. Matthews Benson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Mullins,
Yes.
Mr. Weckesser,
Yes.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. Williamson.
Yes.
All right, we will now convene to executive session. I would like to make, we will reconvene out of executive session, but there is no more action items to be taken. So we will return shortly.